Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Linda. I'm Linda. You know I love a good conversation, so let's just have one. So it's Love Month. The month of February is all things love. And so I just wanted to invite a couple to share with us their love. So, Conversations with Linda, would you welcome to our show Stephanie Ball Williams and her husband, John Williams? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dr. Linda.
How you doing?
We're good.
Y'all looking all lovely and things. You know, it's all love. It's all love.
Yes.
Listen, I am so interested in y'all's story because Stephanie, you shared it with me. And I said to our chit chatters that I was going to, actually at the vision party, I shared that I was going to have you on Conversations with Linda so that we can, really get in your business and find out about all this love y'all got going on.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just kind of dive in and talk about how long have y'all been married?
7. I should have let him answer. How long we been married, John?
We've been married 7.5 years.
You're ready for that, right?
I know what's coming.
Do you remember what month you were married?
May the 2nd.
Come on. All right, John, you coming out the gate ready. So tell us, how did you all meet?
Okay, so do you want John's version or do you want the truth?
John's version of the truth. Okay, wait a minute, John. Come on. John, I'm gonna let you start because it sounds like your version is interesting.
So we met at our place of employment, which is Michael.
Okay.
We started off as friends.
Okay.
Best friends at that.
Really?
Best friends.
Okay.
So y'all had a work relationship.
We
Yes,
did.
we did.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we did. And from that point, I used to go to her and talk to her about certain things that's going on within my life. And she was mostly like my coach.
Okay.
So
Facts.
Go ahead. We're dealing with truth right now.
So one day I told her, I asked her, I said, tell my mother-in-law, I said, hey. She said, who is your mother-in-law? I said, your mom. That's my mother-in-law.
All right, John.
Okay.
Okay.
So we began to just talk from there. We never became dating. We never started dating. But we were just still talking as friends.
Okay, now, but when you said that, tell my mother-in-law I said hello. Were you feeling something then? Like, yeah, I may want to talk to her.
Yes, I was feeling something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What
are you doing?
Right. But I really was, she was a sweet person. Her head was on straight.
Okay.
She used to dress nice all the time.
Okay.
She had my attention.
She got your attention. All right, chit-chatters. Y'all know I'm always telling the ladies, you want to show up because you never know.
That's it.
You never know.
That's it.
Okay. So now what part of this is a truth that John is not telling?
So this is actually the first time I've heard this version.
Okay. That camera made it. Got the truth out of it.
Truth.
Okay.
So this was the first time. But honestly, Dr. Linda, I would say the only difference would be that when I actually started working with him, I was told by another lady, have a good working relationship. So he was a ladies' man.
Oh, John. Okay.
He was a player.
Okay.
He was a player.
John, you were making your way around the job.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was around the job.
Okay.
So, but they did tell you that. Have
She did.
Working relationship with John.
So keep it above board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess she didn't listen.
But listen.
I love it.
I guess she didn't listen, Dr. Nana, because last thing I know, this elder lady that would work with us.
Uh-huh.
I was supposed to be going by her house. She asked me to come put a lawnmower together.
I did.
Okay.
And
Was that a move?
No, it really wasn't. It
Oh,
wasn't.
oh, girl. Now you could have asked anybody. I'm sure you got some cousins or brothers.
You're right.
or
Okay, you're right.
somebody.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Yes, she asked me to come put a lawnmower together.
I
All
did.
right,
I
all
didn't show up. She got mad.
Okay.
Got back to work. She wasn't talking to me.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And the elder lady told me, she said, I said, what's wrong with her? Miss Branch, Claudia Branch. I said, what's wrong with her, Miss Branch? She said, you know that girl like you. I said, Miss Branch, I did not know that. But she told me she had 2-3 men.
Oh, okay. This is an
So I didn't see
interesting
why I
story.
had to show up. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, because you thought she was
right.
dating around too.
Right.
Okay, all right. We got this cat and mouse game.
Right.
on. Okay, everybody got game.
Right. That's
Yeah.
it.
All right, all
That's
right.
it.
I
That's
see it.
it. That's it.
So before we go back to that, because I do want to get back to this whole work relationship.
Gotcha.
Stephanie, at the vision board party that I had, and listen, if y'all missed it, you missed
Yes.
a treat. All right. Don't you ever miss a Linda Willis Empowers event because they're always spectacular.
That's it.
That was just a little advertisement. You said at our vision board party, because you were one of our guests,
Mhm.
that you had created a vision board because you believe in vision boards like I do.
Yes,
And you had put on your vision board your mate.
I did.
And talk a little bit more about that.
So in 2013, in January of 2013, I actually decided to open myself up, if I
Okay.
can be transparent with you.
Uh-huh.
I think I desired to have a mate,
Mm-hmm.
but I was afraid.
Okay.
And
okay.
so I said in January of 2013 that I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to open my head and my heart. Remember, we talked about that a little
head
bit.
and heart.
And so I
Mhm.
I
Go
put
ahead.
it out there
Uh-huh.
and I put it on my vision board. And John and I actually started dating in July of 2013. Now, you would not have been able to pay me to say it was going to be John Williams.
Wow.
That was going to be the
Wow.
person that God sent,
Uh-huh.
because we were only friends. And I only
Wow.
looked at him that way.
that way.
Mhm.
But that January 3rd, 2013, you courageously put on your vision board
I did.
because you said you opened your head and your heart.
And
So
my heart.
before that, your heart was closed.
I believe so.
Okay.
I think I was living like in my head, I was saying, looking up and saying, man, I don't want that situation over there. Like, I don't want to be like this particular person.
Okay.
I don't want to be like that person. Yet and still, I still had a lot of fear
Okay.
because I didn't want to be rejected. I didn't want to put
Wow.
myself out there on the line
Mhm.
for, to be played
yeah
or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I was really still living in my head. It was open. The head was open.
Uh-huh.
The heart was
The
still
heart was still
closed.
closed.
Mhm.
And when we talk about vision boards, people don't realize that when you do a vision board, it requires all of you. It's more than just cutting a picture out of a
Yes.
magazine, a few words.
Absolutely.
You're doing the work, the internal work
Yes.
for that
Yes.
dream to come true.
Yes. And John, actually, I think I just found out maybe sometime last year
Mhm.
that he said, when I came over to your house for the first time, it was a little spooky. And I said, really?
In what way, John?
She had all these boards up along the wall. I thought she was cracking.
Right.
So, but
So you had your vision boards passed.
Everywhere.
I had
Everywhere.
all of the vision boards I ever created, I had in my extra bedroom on
Okay.
the wall.
And
It was
the
a full
restroom.
wall.
And
Well,
the-
in the restroom too. and on the refrigerator too.
Because
all
you
that.
had these
Yeah.
constant reminders.
Absolutely.
I love it because
Absolutely.
it's power in keeping that vision before you.
Yes.
But it was a little spooky, right?
Oh, yes, yes. But once she began to explain to me
Uh-huh.
what they were,
Mhm.
and I began to pay attention to it,
Okay.
the vision board.
Okay.
And as I walked through, I paid attention daily to a vision board.
Oh, wow.
Because after she explained them her goals, that's her vision.
Wow.
So some of the things she had on the vision board, then I began to act on them.
He did.
Yeah.
These
God,
are facts.
I am so impressed with you. You better shoot your shot. I'm telling you now, that's a man of vision. That's a man of purpose. All right. He got that vision and said, okay, let me work with this. So what kind
Yes.
of things were on your vision board as it relates to a mate that you were looking for?
So one thing for sure was on there was a ring.
Okay.
Because
Hey, girl, you got one
I got
too.
one.
All right. Now,
But-
wait a minute.
What is that?
I know it's blinding you, but can you see? Okay.
But I do want to say that I wanted anybody that came into my space to know that I'm dating with intention. So it's okay for you to come over here like John tried to say I was a player, but I would. We'll
okay.
get back to that. But I wanted anybody that came into my space to know, like, if you're coming to play, like, go ahead and go, but don't even come.
Sure.
So that was really it. So I did have a ring.
Uh-huh.
I did have a male, a picture of a male on my vision board. And then I focused on the attributes and the characteristics that I wanted.
Okay.
So those were the things that I had on my kitchen
Okay.
refrigerator.
Uh-huh.
That way, because like I said, brother, you're not going to the back room anyway, right? Let's be clear on that. Let's be clear. You're not going to the back room.
Uh-huh.
So let me go ahead and put it,
On this
just because you want a
refrigerator.
sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, put on this refrigerator so you can
I
see
love it. I love
what
it.
it is that what I'm looking for.
And so you had no idea it was John.
I had absolutely no
But
idea.
you saw it and decided, hey, let me check some things off here.
And yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes, I did.
okay.
Yeah.
And so in envisioning all of this, were you patient? Were you because I know, people are doing vision boards and
Mhm.
people who are single, whether male or female,
Mhm.
or sometimes you do a vision board, but you really don't think it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Right. But were you saying, okay, if it doesn't happen by this time, I'm not going to worry about it? What was your level of hope and expectation?
So to be quite frank, I don't truly believe it happened until again that head and heart met.
Okay.
And then I was really intentional about it. So meaning if somebody's calling my phone that really is not going in the same direction that I wanted to go, it was an automatic no.
Okay.
So when it comes to that hope, it actually happened faster than I expected.
But see, I think it can happen fast when it's heart and head at the same time.
That's it.
I think what slows the process down is there's still some blockage there.
Absolutely.
And so for those of you who are, you have your vision boards up and you're wondering, why is this taking so long? Sometimes it is the timing of God. It's providential. But
Absolutely.
there are other times that there is unfinished business that you have going on.
Absolutely.
Such as your case. Where head was open, heart wasn't. All
And
right?
Dr. Linda, I would just add to that even with that, like I actually wrote the list down before I put it on my vision board 3 years prior.
Wow.
So that goes back to again, I'm saying that my heart is open, but it really wasn't.
So in writing this list down, and you said the attributes,
Mhm.
were you writing the list down saying these are all non-negotiables? Were you saying, okay, this is in general what I want? How were you approaching it?
So I would say I was very specific
Okay.
about what it is that I wanted. But again, I wasn't rigid.
Okay.
So on my
I like the way you say
you know what
that.
I mean? Like so I had on there that I wanted somebody 6'4". But of course John is not 6'4". But I also was able to say, but he has all of these other things that I really desire.
Right.
So I focused on my desires rather than my
love it.
non-negotiables and things like that. Well, what did I desire? I actually wrote it out like a prayer and then put it in my Bible.
Oh, I love it. Put it in there, right there in the word.
I did.
Right there
I
in the
did.
word. John, let me ask you. So you see her characteristics that she's looking for and all of that. And I know you said, okay, I started getting on my game, but was there any part of you that was afraid that, hey, do I measure up to all of this or do I want to put in all the work? And I'm going to tell you the reason I'm asking you that while you're thinking about it. Because a lot of men say, these women just want too much. They require too much. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, my confidence level was very high.
Okay.
Too high. Go ahead.
I had no doubts that, I could become her significant other. I knew what to bring when I came. Once.
But what were you going to do with those other women, John? That's what I want to know. I mean, when you were looking at that list, were you thinking about, hey, do I really want to give up this life I'm living right now? Come on, John.
Well, that was somebody else involved. I had
I feel there's a story right here.
I had someone else on the side where I was trying to
Okay.
approach her as well.
Okay.
But what was on the other side didn't measure up to what was on the left.
Okay.
So I had to make a
All right, John.
decision.
Come
and
on.
You had to
release.
make a decision.
Yeah, I had
Yes.
to make a decision.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So you didn't decide, I'm gonna try to do both at the same time.
No, I had to release.
Okay, okay.
She,
You helping the men right here. Because
Right.
a lot of men and I
Mhm.
mean women too, but say they struggle there because I've heard men say, I struggle because I can't find everything I want in
Mm.
one woman.
Mm.
There's a woman over here, she gives me all of this,
Mhm.
and there's a woman over here, she gives me all of that. So, what would you say to guys who are feeling that way? That I'm not gonna find the woman that gives me everything, so I need 2 or 3.
first of all, I would say be patient.
Okay.
Get to know that individual
Uh-huh.
and have those conversations with each other to be able to get to that level
Okay.
with that individual. I would say don't just jump out of it because she ain't got everything,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but she may have majority of the things that you do want.
And reality is none of us are perfect.
No.
Right?
No.
None of us are the whole package.
No.
Right.
Relationship really is about compromise.
That's it.
Right.
And figuring out what's most important to
That's
you.
it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think we've gotten away from that,
I agree.
right? And
Yeah.
so we just kind of want it all.
Mhm.
And and then we got to ask ourselves, when I want somebody else to be it all, am
That's
I
it.
all of it?
That's
Right,
it. That's
right.
it. That's it.
And I'll ask you that before we go to commercial. In looking at the things that you wanted, were you asking yourself, hey, do I measure up to this type of man that I'm looking for?
So I will say yes. And
Okay.
I got a little confidence too, Mr. Williams. But I would say yes, because again, like I felt like I was a boss in my own right.
Okay.
Meaning that I knew what I brought to the table.
Uh-huh.
Not just aesthetically,
Uh-huh.
not just, whatever that's supposed to be,
Uh-huh.
that fit. But I felt like I brought, good credit or, a healthy lifestyle and all these things to the
Mhm.
table. So why would I not require the same thing?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And I think that's so important that we as women,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
be reflective,
Yes.
introspective to say, okay, wait a minute now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm requiring all of these things from him.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have?
Right.
Right.
That's very important.
It's just hard out here, you all. I mean, and I'm glad you all are on the show, because I've had many segments where I've talked to singles,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell you they saying it's pee in the water.
I know.
Right.
It's not all pee in the pool. I'm just gonna tell y'all that it's
Right,
not.
right.
It's not.
And you're living
Right.
witness to that.
Right.
That you and John got together.
Right.
Right.
So for women, and how I gotta ask you,
Mm-hmm.
how old were you? So 7 years ago, how old were you?
I was 33.
There
32,
is
30.
hope.
Yeah, I was in
There
my
is
30s
hope.
when I got married. I wasn't in my 20s.
Yeah.
None of that. I was in my early 30s.
Yeah,
When
because a lot
yeah.
of women are feeling like, I'm not gonna find anybody
Yeah.
because I'm whatever age.
Yeah,
And you are a witness to the fact that that is not the case.
that's not the case.
And you, John, are a witness to the fact that there's still some good men out here.
Oh yes, most definitely. You're
Yeah.
looking at one.
oh,
She
goodness.
didn't
Here
get
we go.
She didn't get that 6'4", but she got a 5'11" with a kid. But she
I'm sorry, level with a kid.
God, do not start.
Listen, I love it. I love a
God.
confident man.
Right.
You gotta have a little confidence to step up to this kind of.
Come on
Yeah.
now. Come on.
Right. If he didn't, you would really be probably intimidating
That's true. That's
to
true.
a guy that didn't have confidence.
And I've heard that before as well. So
Really?
you're right.
Okay, all right, John did that thing. Well, again, we're just celebrating love, and I want there to be a level of expectation for our chit chatters
Mhm.
as they're listening to your story.
Absolutely.
Because you're not, my husband and I, we've been married 36 years. We got married when we were real young, and
Mhm.
people feel like, oh, that's
Yeah,
just
no.
not happening
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But there are situations now where people are mature,
Right.
Most definitely.
know what they want,
Yes.
Right.
and here's the big thing, and it's still out there.
It's
Oh,
out
yes.
there. It's out there.
That's it. That's
It's
it.
out there.
All right, you heard it right here on Conversations with Linda. Yes, there are still good men, good women that are
Yes.
out there that are available.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
and men who will get off the fence like
Come on.
John did, right?
Come on.
And women like Stephanie who knows what she wants and say, I'm bringing something to the table too. I'm not just requiring it from you.
Yes.
So we're going to go to commercial break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Conversations with Linda. Listen, we are having a fascinating, funny conversation with Stephanie and
Yes.
John. I hope you haven't missed the first segment or the first part of this episode. If you have, when it's over, go back and catch the first part. But we're going to dive right back in with the two of you. Stephanie, you said before break, you talked about your heart was not open.
Mhm.
All right. And someone had warned you
Mhm.
that
Absolutely.
John was being John on the job.
Uh-huh.
How were you able to trust John once you all got started in dating, in the relationship? I mean, how did you navigate that?
So I think the biggest thing was that one day I actually did sit down and say, okay, God, I'm going to trust you on this.
Okay.
Like, do you have my back? Because again, I told you, even at the vision board party,
Mhm.
that John would tell me when we first started talking. So we wasn't official.
Okay.
But when we first started talking, he was like, hold up. Take your boxing gloves off. Remember, you used to tell me
Yes,
that all the
okay,
time because
okay,
you're fighting
okay.
me.
Mhm.
Because the natural part of me was still resisting what it is that my heart and my head is saying now.
Okay.
But I was still fighting.
Okay.
So he was really patient with me. It was
He was
mostly
patient with
him
Okay.
being patient with me because that old Stephanie would flare up
Okay.
and then, the fear would come in. So it was a
Mm.
lot of him just being patient with me.
Being patient with you.
Mhm.
And I like what you said, talking to the Lord, asking the Lord, you got my
You
back.
got my
Because
back.
I really believe in any kind of relationship, you've got to have a level of trust in God first.
That's it.
Because people are flawed.
That's it.
Yes.
That's
Right?
it.
So
That's
the
it.
relationship I gotta be able to really count on and put all my eggs in one basket. That's the Lord, my relationship with the Lord.
That's it.
So I really believe that as well. So John, what were how long did it take you to clean house?
Not
I mean,
long.
not long.
Not
I mean,
long at all, but
because I'm telling you, because guys watch our show too now.
Mhm.
And the guys are gonna want to know, man, how did you, what did you do? Because I also hear men talk about, well, I didn't know how to break it to her, that I was, as if they were afraid to tell the other women that maybe they had been seen casually or whatever. Hey, I'm interested. And y'all were at the same place. Y'all were at the work
We were at the-
environment.
mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
We actually, we call ourselves the three amigos on the job. It was me,
Mhm.
her, and our best friend.
Uh-huh.
We have a young lady named Kim Russell. She was our best friend.
Mhm.
And she went to Kim. She told Kim, she said, John's trying to talk to me.
Uh-huh.
Kim told her, well, John didn't change. Yeah.
She advocated for him.
John
Okay.
didn't change. So you may want to go
Okay.
ahead and talk to her. But one of the things that she did say, she told her just what it's needed.
Mhm.
She said, don't hurt her.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she told her the same, don't hurt him. Because we was
Wow.
all best of friends.
Yeah.
First, you was my friend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we trying something different to becoming up.
Right.
So
And do you think that is the key to a solid relationship, is being friends first?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's some days that I don't even love him.
yeah.
But I like my friend, right? But
Uh-huh.
this man that got on my nerves that
Right.
I'm married. So it's essential to have
Right.
friendship,
And it is.
at the core.
It is.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So you cleaned house and it was just Stephanie, but she said you were patient with her.
Yes, I were.
So did you, what in your mind, how were you processing the fact that she was struggling with fear of whether or not you were going to hurt her?
Well, one of the things I was walking on thin ice.
Okay.
I was making sure what I say,
Uh-huh.
I was being careful.
Uh-huh. Okay.
My actions
All right.
Mhm.
had to make sure and reassure her that
Yeah.
I'm not that guy that's going to hurt
Yeah.
you.
Right.
I think
So-
that is so key. I mean, you said something that's so key. I think with guys, because we're getting the stereotype now
Mhm.
as, you know, Black women are hard to get
Right,
along
right,
with,
right.
we're angry.
Right.
But most of the time that has come out of experiences
Mhm.
that have hurt us,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But you tapped into something, John, of recognizing that there was fear there and
Right.
not just calling it something else.
Right.
Right.
And recognizing what you could do.
Exactly.
And you said in your actions,
Mhm.
being consistent.
Right.
I love that. So after you missed going over there to fix the lawnmower or whatever
Mhm.
that was,
Mhm.
you started being consistent.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Okay.
did. After I found out that
Uh-huh.
she did like me.
Okay. So we don't count that one against you.
No,
then.
gave him a pass.
Okay,
She
you gave
gave
a
me a
pass
pass.
on the lawnmower. But after that, your actions were consistent.
Yes,
Absolutely.
until I went to her house and to look at the lawnmower. And I was bagged in the driveway. I got to tell it. I was bagged in the driveway. I was bagged in the driveway.
Uh-huh.
You know, she was a player too. So this guy showed up
Uh-huh.
and I'm looking. I didn't think she had no one.
Uh-huh.
So he walked in her yard. So I rolled down my window. I said, "May I help you?"
Uh-huh.
He said,
This
"No,
guy
you
said
can't
it's
help
fine.
me." So he got on the phone and called her. "Hey, this guy's sitting in your driveway and I can't get in. He bagged in the yard like he was King Tut or something."
Uh-huh.
What did you say?
I say he is. Jonathan King. Okay.
Wait a minute, girl. You didn't have your game down.
I don't know what happened that day. Everything just blew up. I'm not meant to be a player, so I was like, let me get out the game. Yeah, everything blew up.
And so, but this, you all work through all of those things
Yes, we did.
Mhm.
without allowing them to frighten you away from one
Right.
another.
Right,
Right.
right,
That's
right,
so
right.
cool. That's so
right.
cool.
Right.
So how's it been? You're 7 years in, but that first year of marriage.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Wait. How was it that first year?
Well, so this was my first marriage, and I
Okay.
had never been married before,
Okay.
nor had I really cohabitated with
Uh-huh.
anybody.
Okay.
And so, that was a challenge for me. I was,
Mm.
accustomed to having my space a certain kind of way,
Absolutely.
having food, just everything, right? My
Uh-huh.
world. And so
Mm.
trying to now really combine these two
Mhm.
worlds, these two separate individuals, it was a challenge. I'm just being real.
And speaking of that, I say to people who are single and who are mature that they need to consider that, because when you're fully grown,
Fully grown.
you're not just coming out of your mama's house.
Right.
Right.
You have established a lifestyle,
Mhm.
and having to blend that with somebody else
Mhm.
is difficult. How was it for you, John?
Well, I was married before.
Okay.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I was coming out of a relationship.
Uh-huh.
No, I did not go get counseling.
Okay.
But my mind was made up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
God totally released me from that relationship.
All right. All right.
And one of the things why I asked God, I said, "God, what happened
Mhm.
in this relationship?"
Mhm.
And God told me, He spoke to me. He said, "I didn't tell you that was your wife.
Wow. Wow.
You chose her.
Wow.
That ain't who I had for you."
Mm.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
look what I
all
found
right.
now.
All right. All right.
Mhm.
But y'all had to make some adjustments.
We
Right, we
did.
had to make
first
some
year.
adjustments.
We
Yes,
did.
yes.
We really did
Because I knew what I want.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I knew what I was looking for.
Okay.
And she had all that.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right. All right. These mature
This-
These mature folk. This grown folk marriage right here. Grown folk marriage. So let's switch gears a minute,
Sure.
because there's an age difference between the two of
Yes.
us.
Mhm.
What's the age difference?
15 years.
15.
John, you're 15 years older
Yes.
than
Mhm.
Stephanie.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's talk about how age difference has played a part in this relationship. Where does it come in? Because I believe that when you get past 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
when you get past a decade,
Mm-hmm.
now there's some real differences.
Absolutely.
We're talking about a generation.
Right.
We're talking about a
Right.
decade.
Right.
So how has that affected your relationship?
I think for me, for the most part, maybe sometimes John being stuck in that old school thinking.
Okay.
Because I'm like, look, I ain't mama now. Like I'm a
Okay.
career woman. So
Okay.
I have to go to, and so trying to get him to understand that
Mm.
probably for me was like the biggest challenge.
Okay.
Like getting him to understand, like, we
So
don't
when
do it
you
like that.
first, when you all, well, because y'all were friends 1st,
Mhm.
but age didn't keep you from wanting to date him.
Right. So it
Okay.
didn't, yeah, because we were friends. So it was organic.
Okay.
So it was a little
Gotcha.
different. I will say though, honestly, now I love my husband,
Mhm.
but I would say that had we not been friends first, I probably would not have dated him.
Gotcha.
Only because again, I would not have been that open-minded.
Mhm.
I knew that I wanted an older guy because I didn't want no man with no lot of children.
Oh,
So I had, like I
okay.
said, I had things on my, on my list, and I knew that I didn't want to have to be a parent to somebody
Mhm.
else's little babies because I didn't want the drama. Not that I didn't
Yeah.
love the children,
But
but I didn't want the drama.
I got
So
it.
that was I was strategic with it.
Yeah. All right,
Mhm.
girl. Right. I love it. I love it. She is decisive. All right. So, John, you got this chick that's 15 years younger than you.
Yes, I have.
Do you
But-
ever, over these 7 years, have you ever seen where the 15 years makes a difference?
Not at all.
Really?
No. I am the type of person I love to have fun.
Okay.
Now
So,
that's true.
I'm always, matter of fact, they call us sisters and brothers, but we do a lot together.
We do.
Uh-huh.
We like
We
to
do.
just have fun.
Uh-huh.
They watch the video, so y'all pretty much see what I like doing. So, but I love to have fun. Age never, her age, my age never been a problem.
Yeah.
Really?
We just both looking for the same thing. We look for happiness, love, and a
And so
great solid relationship.
Do you think that people limit themselves because they don't consider,
Yeah.
age, or they make all of these they have all these limitations.
Yes, absolutely.
That all of these requirements that really narrow their options.
So I would tell you this, Dr. Linda, even if John and I were not friends and there were other guys that I was dating, they would probably still not be my age. Let's be clear on that. Because I was not really truly attracted intellectually to young guys or my age. So it would still be somebody older, but I don't know, again, if I would have taken a chance, of 15 years. Yeah.
But you were definitely looking for someone, or you definitely wanted someone that didn't have small children.
I did. I'm sorry, real selfish, but that's just what I knew what I wanted.
Yeah. And you're saying, so do you have children?
I have one adult son.
Okay.
And then John has two daughters as well. And I'm a grandmother. So I would prefer to be a grandmother over a baby mama or a mama.
Gotcha. It makes sense to me. It makes sense. I'd rather be a grandmother than that whole dynamic of having small children that you have to navigate.
Right.
So how do your children get along? Does that work?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Like that was not an issue for us. So blending of the families, John would tell you that Michael did have a problem, which is my son, 21-year-old, initially when I tried to kind of like bring it together. Because my son had never really saw me date anybody.
Oh, okay.
Other than his dad. So it was a transition for him.
So you ascribe to keeping your dating life away from your son.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
And no uncles. We ain't got no extra. You ain't got no uncles. I ain't got none of that extra stuff going on until I know, because I have to safeguard my child's heart as well.
Absolutely. I love that.
So I can't introduce them to all these random people.
That is so true. That is so true. So you've been married 7 years, and 7 years, I know this from just working with couples. 7 years is where, I mean, now the gloves are off.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, you've been married long enough now to know each other and all of that.
Right.
What's the 7 year challenge for you all? Like, how is it in 7 years?
Now, I think for me, I had the itch. You know, they say you had the, so
7 year itch.
and so this year would make 8 years. But I
Mhm.
think for me, it was like really like having those hard conversations and
Okay.
and helping John to understand that I'm not the same chick that you married or you even started dating 9 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like helping him understand I've evolved.
Mhm.
Like, do you like the Stephanie now?
Mhm.
Do you like her? So that is where we are now, trying to
Okay.
like really reassess it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So how's that for you, John?
Well,
Have can you see her evolution?
oh yes.
Okay,
Most
okay.
definitely. I'm, going along with it.
Okay.
Happy wife, happy life.
But I mean, John,
So,
you're 15
but-
years older
But
now.
yes, I am.
Okay.
But nothing, it's never really been a problem with me.
Okay. You just easy going.
Just
He
easy
is,
going.
man,
And she
really
just
am.
kind of
Yes.
got a lot
Little
going on in
extra.
her
Oh, yeah.
head. And
Oh yeah.
she got all
When she
these
coming in-
dreams
Right.
and
Yes.
visions of what she wants to do.
Right.
And you
right.
just sit back
Support it.
and be
And,
supportive.
right, and I understand it, and we respect it about each other because he's at a different age range where he is looking at what does retirement look like, what does
Uh-huh.
this look like, and I
Okay.
have to respect it.
Absolutely.
Right.
So me, I'm ambitious. I'm like, I want to do this. And he's just like, okay, because he's not there. 15 years different.
And
Right.
so you allow him then to be where he is. He doesn't have to be as ambitious as you are.
No,
Okay.
because what I do appreciate is the support. But what I, kind of require even in our marriage is that you have something though you are aspiring to do.
Okay.
It may not be the same level of ambition, right?
Okay,
Because we're
okay.
at 2 different age ranges. So I don't expect for you to have the same amount of energy
Yeah.
and all of that is me, but you should be aspiring for something as long as you live it.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So
anybody.
You should be growing.
You should be
Right,
growing.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really important. And John, to Stephanie's point, I think women are challenged by that because we want our men to keep growing and
Right,
not get
right.
stuck
Mhm,
or complacent.
mhm.
But at the same time, Stephanie, sometimes they gotta have time to figure it out.
I know. I'm learning.
Talking about that,
I'm learning.
Oh, y'all just talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Let us in on it.
right?
What? Come on, let us
I was
in.
like, what you want to do? What we doing at the church? Like even starting
Yes,
there,
yes.
Uh-huh.
saying, okay, we've been members 6 months. What are we doing?
Right.
What we doing? Other than
Right,
coming to
right.
sit down,
Uh-huh.
every Sunday. And even Pastor Joseph, he was very, at the brunch.
Uh-huh.
And he came, he was honest with me.
Uh-huh.
He said, now I'm gonna let you know, young lady, you gonna know, but we're gonna need a little bit more time.
Uh-huh.
And I was
Right,
so
right.
glad that he took that time to tell me that
Oh,
because
wow.
I would have probably been looking like, what are we doing? Because
Mm.
when we became members of New Life, it was John who made the decision
Okay.
and I
okay.
followed.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So, so then I have an expectation of like, what we doing?
Right.
That kind of thing, because I'm following you, right?
Right. What
And
you-
I pretty much agree with that.
okay.
From where I came from, the church I was at before, I was real involved in church.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I was a deacon, sung in the choir.
It
Really?
was all over the
Yes,
place.
I was
All at
some
work.
Ursula, I was all over the place.
Okay.
And now I'm trying to figure out, okay, do what
What do I
God
think?
wants me
Yeah.
to do,
All right.
Yeah.
other than what I was doing.
Okay.
Okay, God, now I need you to tell me what is it I need to be doing.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at now.
That makes sense. I
Yeah.
get it. I get
Yeah.
it. You know what's y'all not gonna believe this, but what's going through my head right now, the chit chatters, they just know me. Right. So I'm just totally, I just gotta tell y'all what. John, you got any friends? My chit chatters. I got chit chatters that are single and they have on their vision board that they want a relationship, they
Absolutely.
want a spouse or a
Right.
husband, and they gotta know where to find more of you.
Pretty much all my friends are married.
Really?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I try to keep myself in that circle.
Right.
Yes.
That makes sense. I
Yes.
agree with that. You're doing all the right things. But before you got married, did you have any friends? friends.
Oh, yes, I had
I'm a big matchmaker.
plenty
Right?
friends.
I'm really a big matchmaker.
Yes, I had
Right?
plenty
I got a
friends,
few,
yes.
and I got a philosophy. If he don't work for one woman, let me
Just
just find
Find
another
the
one.
line.
Ain't no need-
That's so
There
true.
is no reason to throw these good men away, right? We just pass
Right.
them on to the one that he works for.
Right, right.
So I know they're gonna be saying, where can we find a man like John?
Right.
Where do men your age,
Uh-huh.
where do they go? Where are they? Where do they hang out?
I don't know.
Where were you
Well-
hanging out before?
Because you was
Stephanie?
hanging out. Calling me on the phone. You was hanging out.
Well, pretty much, I was at the club.
At the
I was hanging
club.
out at the club.
At the
I had to
club.
come
John.
out of the club.
And
Yes,
going to
I was,
church.
I was.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, I was at the club. I
Well,
was at
he
the
did.
club.
He was
I was
He
single.
was right.
He was
That's what I'm
single.
saying.
I was
So
single.
yeah.
I was at the club, and normally I hung out a lot in restaurants.
But you were
Okay.
going to the cigar
But,
bars and
cigar
stuff
bar,
like
yeah, I went to
that.
the
Like,
cigar
yeah.
bar.
That's
Oh,
where they
okay.
hang out at
Restaurant.
now.
Let's get a
Fox and
restaurant.
Hound
Yeah,
and
Fox and
stuff
Hound,
like
yeah.
that. That's what
All right, y'all heard it
Yeah.
right here. Go to the Fox and Hound. I think they changed the name.
they
change the
did.
name?
They
And I
did.
can't
They
It's
did.
remember
called
the
the
name.
Red something.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. I gotta take a commercial break, but I'm coming back because I'm gonna find out the places you need to go, my single girls, because we gotta find some more Johns. All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Conversations. Listen, these two, Stephanie and John, let me tell you something. They are cracking me up and they are definitely giving us some good information. Because, John, we were talking right before we went to commercial about where the ladies can find men like you. And so you said you would hang out at the Fox and the Hound that's in
Yes.
South Haven.
Yes.
Where else can they go?
Once again, Mug Shots would be another great place. To hang
Okay,
out.
okay.
But
So
also now, I want them to miss it. There are some good men in the church.
there you
All
go.
right
John.
now.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I
Okay,
want
okay.
them to miss
Because
it.
you in church.
Yes, I am.
But as it relates to socializing, that you would be in restaurants and things like that.
Yes, I would be.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now I gotta ask you, Stephanie. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
But so, because I got a lot of chit chatters that are single women,
Right.
Uh-huh.
right, and quite a few are a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to help them out,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it a turnoff for a woman to approach a man? Should she just, if she goes into Mug Shots or Fox and the Hound, it's called something else now, but Red something. I just passed it. What is she to do? Does she just sit there and wait for the man to say something to her?
Well, if you see something you like,
Okay, John.
I say something.
Okay,
Don't miss out on the opportunity.
okay.
Definitely say something. You know.
Okay, all
If
right.
you just say hello, how you doing?
Yeah.
Get his
Yeah.
attention.
Feminine
Get
is
his
nice.
attention.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
okay. Now, Stephanie, and then we're gonna do a lightning round of questions. But I gotta ask you this
Mm-hmm.
because you all talked about you met at work,
Mhm.
and you always look nice going to work,
Mhm.
and I advocate that because you just don't know where you're going to meet somebody.
Right.
Yes.
And I mean, you're not dressing up
Right.
because you're trying to meet somebody.
Right.
But can you just talk a little bit about that? Just tell the ladies how important that is.
Listen, Dr. Linda, every day I was intentional
Mhm.
about showing up. Now I knew John was really, kind of, it was a vibe and he was liking me, but I didn't know to that extent because again, I'm coaching him on his other situationship.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
trying to
okay.
help him stay together. And I just think that because I also use my feminine energy, like
Okay.
I'm real big on that. Like you a
Okay.
lady, right? So that means
Yeah.
you need to give that energy off, exude
Right.
that.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm not saying we shouldn't have like gym shoes on and everything else, but like show up.
Show up.
Be intentional about showing up.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's all I did.
Because, men are just attracted.
They're
They're visual creatures. And when you don't care about how you look, then you're not showing up.
That's
right?
it. That's it. That's it.
And you don't have to be seductive.
No, no.
I just think, don't you think, John, men really appreciate a woman that carries herself well and cares about how she dresses?
Yes, most definitely. That says a lot.
What did you really like though about me though? Because I know it was a vibe over here, but what did you really like? What was the thing that you liked? Because I don't even know.
For one thing, your personality.
Also, it's
And,
personality.
Your character spoke for itself.
Okay.
I love it.
One of the things that really attract me to her as well. Both of us worked in the same place. Once again, we helped the homeless people.
Okay, baby.
So,
okay.
yeah.
So I'm talking about physically.
Well, your heart.
No. When you look
She
at
said she
me,
wanted
when you
a
look
heart.
at me, what do you be like? Okay, Stephanie, yes.
Physically. You was my Beyonce.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it.
I love it. John said he was his Beyonce.
I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, so here's our lightning round questions.
Okay.
So who was interested first?
Nah.
So you either gonna point at me or point at yourself then. You.
Where was your first date?
To me, I think it was the date that we went to the movies in Collierville, and you showed up late with those little blue Croc shoes on, and you was hanging out with your friends. Remember, that was your first date.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
First date. Okay, what was the
Movies.
movie? What was the movie?
I can't even remember. I just looked at him when he showed up and was like, "Really? This is supposed to be our first date?" And he had on a white T-shirt, some denim shorts, and some Crocs.
John, you were showing your age.
Actually, I had just left
From hanging out
with the guys.
Oh, okay.
And, I looked at my time and
Yeah.
so I got to go. I ain't got time to change. I know. I
But
got
he
to
knew
make
to
it
be
there.
on time.
So,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're married,
Mhm.
and well, let me go back to this. Who initiated the first kiss?
Yes, I did.
I figured that much. John is just got the neck on it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Who said I love you first? You did, John.
Okay.
Now, if your heart, you had been struggling with head and heart.
Mhm.
When he told you he loved you, did you say it back?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay.
I did.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So was this funny? Like, cause y'all had been friends. Like when y'all just kind of cracking up at each other, like, I can't believe we're
He
Yes,
actually
most
said it out of
definitely.
his mouth one day, and he
Yeah.
was like, "I can't believe I'm with Stephanie Ball." I'm like, "Do you hear yourself?" And so for
Yes.
me, it kind of mesmerized me. I'm like, "Wow, so this is something you've been thinking about, brother."
wow.
You know, that kind of thing.
Who is the best cook?
Where your finger? Who's the best cook?
I would say she is.
Oh, okay, you the best
Yes.
cook. Do you cook, John?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Who is the messiest?
Me.
Now that's the first time he done picked. Thank you. That's why that first shirt was rough.
John. You're not living in marriage like an old bachelor, are you?
No, not at all.
Who goes to sleep first?
Me.
You go. Okay. Who spends the most money?
Me.
Really?
See?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
I have a habit of shopping.
Do you really?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, I do. And if I see something I like and I want it,
Don't matter the price.
I'm gonna get it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Now that's quite different.
Yes.
Mhm.
So is this clothes or anything, or just you have special things that you like, or particular things that you like?
You like
Watches,
watches
for
for
one.
sure.
Yeah.
That's a man thing.
Mhm.
That's
He
a
love
man thing. My
watches.
husband loves
He love
watches.
watches.
Right.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
And you're not a shopper?
I shop. So John always talks about me because I have a lot of things,
Okay.
but that's
okay.
because I take care of my things.
Mhm.
I ain't
That-
messy.
That
you know?
really is true. When you
Right.
take care of your things, they don't wear out. And
Right.
so you end up with a lot of things.
Right.
I agree with
Right.
that. What is your favorite quality about John?
I think overall, like John is really the way that he cares for me, if
Okay.
that makes sense. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like he is sometimes a little too overprotective,
Mm.
but I've heard females and friends say, I ain't heard from my husband, my boyfriend all day.
Wow.
John gonna blow that phone up. Do you hear me? I tell him, look, you know, that kind of thing. So
Uh-huh.
even that. So
Okay.
that's what it is for me.
Because do you all still work together?
No
now?
man.
Oh, okay.
No man.
Not at all.
Y'all had to stop that once you
Yes.
got into a
Right.
relationship with one
Well,
another?
actually, it'll be 2
Transition. 2
years
years.
since
Okay.
I transitioned from MIFA.
Mhm.
And so he's still there, but I transitioned from there.
Was everybody shocked that you all?
Oh, let's talk
Oh,
about that.
yeah.
So one of our things was I told John, if we're going to date,
Uh-huh.
it has to be a secret.
Oh, okay.
So nobody
Right.
knew until our wedding day, and somebody posted it on Facebook, one of my bridesmaids. So we had dated for almost 2 years. We were engaged. For-
Wow.
Yes.
And
Riding
nobody
together
knew.
sometimes.
Nobody
Nobody knew.
This employer that worked with us, she called me and she said, John, she said, have you seen Stephanie Hubble? I said, no, I ain't seen him.
Everybody, they
she
was so
said, he
nosy.
looked just like you.
What?
I said,
Yes.
for real? I said, no, he can't look like me. No.
What?
I said, I'm telling you, John, he looked just like
Yep.
you. But all along,
Wow.
it was me. So,
Wow.
but they didn't know.
And so you get married, you go back to work.
And everybody was like,
Oh,
y'all should have
yes.
worked for, what you said, the FBI?
FBI.
All these.
That's
Yeah.
the HR lady.
Now, did you feel any tension from any of the women?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. But it was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Because I was Miss Williams then.
Girl, you better come on
I'm
up
just-
in here.
You know? But yeah,
I love
yeah.
Wow. It was okay.
Yeah.
And John, how did you handle all of that?
Well, once we became one,
Mhm.
they knew.
Yeah.
And I was approached by
Uh-huh.
a few of them. Said, you married her? I said, I did the best thing there was. I told them, I said, you
No,
really?
they did.
Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah. You married her? She finally got
Yeah,
what
she
she
finally
wanted.
got what she wanted. And blah, 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 all of that.
Yes.
Wow.
But they didn't say it to me, they said it to him.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
they did.
And I
They
would just
did.
walk and switch on by.
Yeah, yeah. And,
It's, hey,
and like
how
I
y'all
told
doing?
them, that's the best thing I could ever done.
Wow, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
How about these blended families, like extended families? Everybody was good.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
That's
All of
awesome.
that work. All of that work. I think our biggest challenge again was just like trying to coming together and cohabitate
Uh-huh.
and live in one space.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That was
You
Right.
know, there's some women now who are saying they'll just bypass getting married because when they start thinking about how they will have to adjust their lives,
Mhm.
Mhm.
they're starting to say, you know what, I don't even know if I want to do all of that.
right.
What tips, Stephanie, since you were the visionary of this, you envisioned and believed God for a mate, you put it on your vision board. What would you say? What tips would you give? What would you say to somebody out there who's still saying, yeah, I think I do want a mate and I want to put this on my vision board?
So I would say number one, be very clear on exactly what you want.
Mhm.
And you have to know what you want. So when you don't want show up, you can
Mm.
go ahead and let them move along instead of wasting your time. Number one.
I think that's so key. Uh-huh.
So that's number one. And then I would say also be open.
Mhm.
So like if you have a list of things, we talked about being rigid
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
settling.
Yeah.
Like be open. No, he's not 6'4".
Uh-huh.
He might be 5'11" with a kid.
Uh,
But he has all these other things that you want,
Mhm.
and just be open to that.
Yeah.
You know, and then I would say also maybe just look at your circle as far as like your friends, your girlfriends who may have brothers or cousins or whoever.
Because
Just be
that person
open.
might be right,
Might be the right match for you.
and they might be right there under your nose, and
All
you
along.
just haven't paid attention to
Right.
them. Haven't
I
looked
would
at
have
them.
never.
Most definitely.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so good.
Yeah.
And quickly, I tell you, I years ago I was ministering to this girl, and I told her the Lord gave it to me that when she got back home, she was going to, I told her she was going to get married.
Wow.
You know, and she was going to meet her mate. And she was like, she told me later, I thought, oh, that woman, you know, she's sweet, but you know, she ain't prophesying the truth. But long story short, she got back home. She was in her doctoral program. She was in school, and the guy was her tutor.
Wow.
And long story short, they are married today.
See,
Oh,
she had
wow.
never even
Right.
looked at him that way.
Right.
He was right there.
He was right there all along.
Yep.
Wow.
And that, oh, I just
Yeah.
love. I love. And you two definitely exemplify love. And I love the fact that you have this journey
Oh, yeah.
now that you're able to share with others
Yes.
that will give them hope.
Yes.
And you are transparent about the fact that you're still on the journey.
Absolutely.
You know, it's 7 years in, and
Absolutely.
you are yet evolving.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and
Yes.
John is old patient John.
Right.
Loved it. Supporting his woman.
Right.
But that's got to make you feel good.
It does.
To
It
know
does.
that
I'm
you-
grateful.
That you have his support.
Yeah.
All right, listen, chit chatters. It's Love Month. I want y'all to love. Open your heart.
That's it.
Not just your head. Open your heart, just like Stephanie did. Open your heart and open your eyes, because it may be somebody right in your circle,
Yes.
right on your job, right in the church,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
wherever. Go to mug shots. No.
That's
I tell them to go to Home Depot.
That's
Because it's men all around Home
Yeah,
Depot. I'm like, look, y'all go to, because when I go to Home Depot, men are talking to me, and I'm like,
Right,
no, sir, I'm married. I'm like, y'all come on up here to Home Depot. There's plenty of men walking
Right,
there and looking at
right.
stuff.
Right.
All right, listen, I want you to enjoy yourself as we have enjoyed this episode, but enjoy this month and laugh a little bit and share some love with somebody. Tune in each Sunday evening here, Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock. Our pre-chat show is at 6:30, but we want you to be a part of us. We'll see you next time. God bless you.